All right, in this video, I'm going to demonstrate revision. I realize that maybe some of you have never really spent the time doing significant deep dive revision and really rethinking your writing. And so I'm going to spend some time with this piece right here. This is something I pulled from an essay from a student from a few years ago. I looked at it, I read through it, but I have not planned out how I'm going to revise this right now. So I'm going to be kind of winging this. But I want to demonstrate and show you the thought process and kind of the extent to which you can revise. You can go much further probably than what I'm going to do here, as far as rearranging entire paragraphs, moving sentences around. And some of you are realizing your essay is not what it was when you started, and there's bits and pieces left over from the beginning and that they don't need to be there. Writing is an organic thing. You're putting words on the page to express ideas, and they kind of take on a life of their own. And by the end, you might realize you're far from where you started, and that's okay. Probably a good thing in some ways. All right, so this is how this little blurb begins. It's about a page here. There was something different this time I went. It was still uber peaceful, but this time I decided to force myself into the water and go for a swim like taking a nice stroll in the park on a hot summer day. I swam out to the middle and was going a whopping 1 mile per hour. Literally, I could hear the little splashes I produced with my hands and the sound my breathing made from my tough swim. It felt as if it took hours, but really just about half an hour. When I finally made it, I floated for a bit. I dunked my head back and floated some more. Occasionally, I'd turn my body around and swam for a foot and then turned back, just in a little circle. I told myself that I was stuck in a bubble. I absolutely loved it. I was in the middle of Walden Pond for at least an hour contemplating life. I was just simply pondering my thoughts into one ear, through my brain and out the other ear, with each thought being something totally crazy just because I have a wild imagination. Soon enough, my hands turned all wrinkly like a 90-year-old, and my skin was very soft like a baby's butt. It felt so amazing to be isolated from people and technology for a good hour or so. I know I've had a good time in the water when I wrinkle up. I really appreciate the place for what it was this time because I actually went swimming. Last time, I sure as heck did not. For a good handful of people, their Walden or happy place is a resort in the Rocky Mountains overlooking the crystal perfect white snowflakes. For others, it is a sandy beach by the Pacific Ocean where the super soft sand falls between your toes with every step you make. But for me, it's a lake in the middle of nowhere, a lake where I feel that I am free. It's not only the water and the peaceful experience at Walden Pond, but it's also the beautiful scenery that draws me there. I love nature. I would choose a hiking vacation in the mountains over a sitting vacation on the beach in a heartbeat. This fascinating 61-acre pond is surrounded by trees all around. It's so basic but so beautiful. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I really mean that nothing can compare to this destination because it's so unique in its own ways. I like to think that sometimes the simplest things in life can bring you the most happiness. Walden Pond is so simple, but yet brings me the most happiness. So, there we go. Hope that was an enticing read and enjoyable read. The one thing I would say, and this is probably in context of the bigger essay, is it kind of lacks conflict, which I think maybe is okay. This is meant to be capturing a moment of peace. But if that's the case, I don't think it captures peace as much as it could. Instantly, what I notice is I picture some of it, and then I lose it a little bit when the writer tells me how amazing it was. So what I would like to see in something like this is to figure out how to capture the feeling without telling me what to feel. Additionally, you probably got bored during that. It's kind of long. This isn't the whole essay, it's just this chunk. And I think the truth is that this could be probably half the length and still say the same thing and probably more effectively. It kind of repeats itself and says the same things more than once. So what I'm going to go through is this round of editing and see if we can cut this down, slim it up, and get to the point more. So sometimes revision is about cutting things and maybe adding little bits and pieces. I think there's a line at the end that could go at the beginning here too. So I like this line a lot, except, here I'm going to move this down to remember to cut it right there. And so now you're just literally going to watch me revise this. I hope this is entertaining. I'm going to cut this line. I'm going to move it to the top. I'm going to get rid of the word you and change it to me. And not can, it just does. The simplest things in life bring me the most happiness. And I'm going to see if we can make that the only emotional description, the only emotion that describes, the only language that describes an emotion in the whole thing. Maybe that's achievable. Okay, we don't need this. This time I went to... So here's a common one. A lot of times people will say, I decided to. We don't need to see that you decided unless the decision is like the interesting part. Just say you did something. I decided to walk to the store. Just walk to the store. So instead you could say, forced myself into the water. We don't need any of this. This time, here, hold on. That's different. Colon, I forced myself into the water. This time, I swam out to the middle at A, just clean up the language. I don't know, whopping doesn't seem right. It's sort of a sarcastic thing, and this is all about creating peace. This time I swam out to the middle. This time I swam out to the middle. Slowly. This time I swam out to the middle. I don't know, you don't measure your speed. I haven't cut that. This time I swam out to the middle. I moved there we go, so slowly that I could hear the little splashes I produced with my hands and the sound of my breathing. My tough swim? I thought it was really gentle. I mean, I guess this is tough, but it seems inconsistent. I produced with the hands and the sound of my breathing. And the sound my breathing made, the sound of my breathing. So what we're trying to do is, this person seems to be using a lot of extra words and find the cleanest way to say each sentence. And some of you might be like, how do you know to do that? That's part of this is reading it out loud and also just practice. The more you read, the more you write, the more you're able to hear those extra words. It felt to me as if it took hours. To me, as if those 30 minutes were hours, cutting out as many words as I can. Let's see, when I made it to the middle, I just floated for a bit. Took my what if we repeat this? This time when I went to Walden Pond, wait, hold on, this goes here, and then this, I made it to the back to the middle, I just floated for a bit. This time, when I went to Walden Pond, I had my head and floated some more. Yeah, okay, this time when I went to Walden Pond, I don't my head back floated more. So if you're sitting there watching me and like yelling at your screen, like, no, you're doing it wrong, or I have a different idea, or you missed this, that's good. That means you're thinking in the same process. And I know that might be frustrating, but just validate that you have those instincts and go revise your essay. I'm going to do a little bit more here. Okay, at this point, we get the idea. You're floating. In fact, yeah. So we don't need, I absolutely loved it. That's obvious. This is very awkward. I was pondering my thoughts into one ear. Make sure your prepositions make sense. You can't ponder thoughts into your ear. That's kind of weird. It sounds like you have some kind of thing going on with your ear. this is really weak. With each thought being something totally crazy just because I have a wild imagination. Not only is this passive voice, the being is awkward, but the thoughts being totally crazy because I have a wild imagination. I have no idea what this person's meaning. Cut all of this. In fact, cutting all of this, I floated some more. New paragraph to show time passing. Soon enough, my hands... Soon enough, this time when I went to Walden Pond, I took my head back and floated some more. Oh, whoops. Nope. I'm gonna wait on that. This is weird. Plus, if your hand's wrinkly, I mean, yes, but like, baby's butt's also distracting. I feel like this is an attempt to describe things that feels out of place. So choose your metaphors wisely. It's possible that like they could sort of feel out of place with the mood of what you're writing. Soon enough, my hands turned all wrinkly like a 90-year-old. My hands turned all... my hands looked like those of a 90-year-old. We know that it's wrinkly. Wrinkly from the wrinkly and shriveled, is that? Yeah. See that again, we keep coming back to this amazing. The problem with all these devaluative adjectives, it's amazing, it's beautiful, it's great, is they don't really say much. Okay, this is redundant. Okay. This, I don't know what that kind of depends on what this essay is trying to do, but I sure as heck did not, I don't know, it doesn't fit the rest of the essay. It feels like someone who wanted to swear and then they didn't. I don't know. Last time, oh, whoops, wait, hold on. Oh, maybe this is all you need. There I was. Oh, wrinkly and shriveled and at peace. That would be what we call juxtaposition, because those things sound like they go opposite, but they go together here. There I was, wrinkly and shriveled and at peace. We need more personality, and from people who need me, like why be isolated from people, and technology is so general, and screens full of notifications. Isolated from people who need me, and screens full of notifications. You don't know how, I think repeating the place name is good here, actually. Okay, so you kind of get the idea here. This is much shorter, but I hope it gets the point across more effectively. We are now at the end of a 14-minute video of mostly silence of me typing. I bet a lot of you have abandoned ship by now. If you're still there, hello, hi, nice job. The simplest things in life bring me the most happiness. This time I went to Walden Pond was different. I forced myself into the water. This time I swam out to the middle. This time when I went to Walden Pond, I moved so slowly that I could hear the little splashes I produced with my hands and the sound of my breathing. It felt to me as if those 30 minutes were hours. When I made it to the middle, I just floated for a bit. This time when I went to Walden Pond, I dunked my head back and floated some more. Soon enough, my hands looked like those of a 90-year-old. There I was, wrinkly and shriveled and at peace. Isolated from people who need me and screens full of notifications. I really appreciated Walden Pond. That last line's kind of weak. I hope you can see how by making an interesting creative choice, which, you know, interesting, it's okay, but it's something, by repeating this and doing so in a way that I don't know, rhythmically sort of felt right to say it here, here, and then again at the end after a longer break. by cutting out all of those emotional words and just describe what was happening. And it still creates the same image, but now it's cleaner, it's to the point, it's just the image, and it's just the feeling, and the writing feels peaceful, much like the writer felt at this time. So that's revising. Go do that with your whole essay. That was like 12 minutes to do one paragraph, and I'm going to have to go back to this again if this was my essay. You can see how much time this is going to take. If it doesn't take you a lot of time, I would say that you need to do more of it. All right, good luck.